My name is Michael Potts. I live on and sail a 1979 Scepter 36-foot sailboat, and this is where I am today. I'm in Palm City, Florida. As I record the voiceover for this episode, I'm hunkered down in a storm with all of my anchor chain out, so you may hear the sound of the wind howling through the rigging and the waves crashing over the bow. Before we get started, I'd like to thank the following people listed up on the screen who joined my Patreon, and at this point make these videos possible. Thank you so much from Evie and I. Let's get into the video. In this episode, we motor all the way to Fort Peirce to get my alternator rebuilt, and I continue to effect repairs, and an interesting development happens, so stick around to the end to find out the big news. We are on our way. So nice to be behind the helm again, you know. All right, we gotta watch our depth here. Quite a bit of shallow areas in this area, so I'm gonna follow my track out of here, and we'll be contacting this bridge momentarily here. All right, let's get to Fort Peirce, Florida. If you make it to the end of this video, I'm gonna pass on some really good advice that was given to me by a sailor that's been out here for 35 years. So really crucial information, so stick around to the end of the video for that. All right, there's the railroad bridge going up, and we're gonna make it through right now. Let's see what happens. It's really weird, my inverter is saying that it's at 8 volts, which is just bizarre. You know, I gotta clean up these connections. Once we get up to Fort Peirce and find a decent anchorage, we'll probably be there for another week, because there's so many of the systems that need attention on this boat. So first it's got to be the alternator. You gotta be able to create electricity so I can get my anchor up and so I can move forward safely. So no matter the cost, it's one of those items you just need. You gotta have an alternator and a spare that's working 100%. Plus I want to edit videos. You know, I've been recharging the batteries from the sun, which has been working well, but you know, it's not enough. You gotta have an alternator. So here we go. The journey is about 27 nautical miles, heading south briefly, then turning north for a straight shot for Fort Peirce. All right, so that way leads to Miami, and this way leads to north, like Vero Beach, and up towards Steve Cantwell, one of my favorite subscribers. So yeah, we're making pretty good progress. The ocean is right there. We can go that way and go to the Bahamas. If we really wanted to, we're gonna stay inland. We're gonna go north to Fort Peirce, and I'm a little apprehensive because I don't see any anchorages, so that could be a big problem. I'm gonna go and take a look, and if there's nowhere for me to anchor, then I'm gonna have to turn around and come 2 hours back to a spot where we can anchor. That's the situation. There's good wind out today. It would be great if I had the sails up, but I don't. The wind is coming from where I'm going now. We definitely could have got here a lot quicker by sailing, but that's it. We're gonna keep on trucking north. Well, this is the anchorage in Fort Peirce. Fort Peirce is over there, and I'm gonna try and anchor somewhere here. I must say I was really worried about this because from the distance it didn't look like this. So there's all these buildings here, Marina. So I can get fuel from there tomorrow. There's a fuel dock there, and it's relatively calm here. So let's drop load and settle in. All right, it's the morning, and it is cold. I almost started the heater today. I saw another one of those huge earwigs. Like, this thing looked like a crab's tail on it. It was just massive. I threw it overboard and it swam away. So, Jesus, man. I'm gonna bug bomb this boat. I have the bug bomb right there. I have 3 cans of it. I've only seen one earwig. That's it. So, I mean, there's not like there's lots of bugs here. You never know. All right, so I got the 2 alternators in my bag. All right, I got all the support equipment that I need. I just need to get over there where we'll get an Uber to this alternator place. I got everything I need right here. I just need to get in that boat. Problem is it's, you know, I did fix it. I put some glue on the seams. It just needs some air. There's still oil coming out of the engine. It's a total disaster, guys. I know I'm gonna get murdered in the comments. Go ahead. I'm just doing what I can do right now. I mean, the right thing to do here is to just stop, fix everything, clean everything, get everything sorted. So I'm prioritizing what needs to be done. The alternator is critical. I can't power this computer just off the solar panels and expect to be in a situation where I have enough battery power to start the engine, etc. I need to have the alternator. The battery has to be 100% topped up all the time in order for me to be safe out here, be able to pull up my anchor quickly, be able to start the engine under any circumstance. I can't run that computer and drain the battery. All right, this is just stupid. I think at this point, if you're watching or gotten this far into this video, you want to see what happens to this silly guy who's out here where everything's just broken, you know? So most people would be like, dude, upload videos to YouTube once you get things going. But I promised the audience that I would be honest with what's going on here. If you're gonna go out and get your own boat, this could end up happening to you. Your boat's a disaster, your dinghy's deflating, your engine's leaking oil, everything's dirty. It's frustrating. But all I can do is move forward, and I'm gonna document it here for you guys to see what happens, I guess. Let's find out what happens. All right, I got her pumped up. I think she's good. It's a bit of a tide moving this way. So, all right, I'm gonna see how far I can get. I might go right to the city marina. I don't know. We'll see how the journey goes here. I'm gonna take it easy on this engine. All right. I love these mornings. Look at this beautiful marina. So I did see a no trespassing sign, so I'm gonna go in and ask about fuel and the draft to get in here, and ask if I can keep my dinghy here until I get back in an hour. So, all right, so I've called the marina here, and this is Fort Peirce City Marina, and they've given me permission to dock my dinghy here. It's a 6 foot, a minimum of maximum of 6 foot draft coming in here, so I think I can get my boat in there. Morning. So yeah, I will bring it in later and get diesel and water, but for now let's go into Fort Peirce alternator and starters and get what we need. Fort Peirce City Marina, we're here. This is great. There's a Subway right there, there's the shopping, Publix, everything I need. All right, so I just talked to the guys here at Fort Peirce Alternator and Starters, and they took the alternator. The guy said he will be able to fix it. Unfortunately, the alternator that I purchased for 15 bucks is an internally regulated alternator, which means that I can't use it with the Balmar system. So that's not good. So it means I won't have a spare. So that's not good. You always have to have a spare on a sailboat. It's just the way it is. This is what the place looks like. The guy was really kind and nice. So he said call him at 11 p.m. Right now it's about 9, 10, 11, 2 hours. I'm gonna go and maybe go shopping or something. I don't know. I'm gonna go figure out what to do now until later. So the good news is you should be able to fix it and get it on there. Well, I got a bottle of rum finally for $24, which is pretty good. It's about 30 something. And yeah, you gotta be careful with rum on a boat, I'll tell you. It's weird, like, maybe as I'm getting older here and wiser, you can't drink a lot on a boat. I know on a lot of the other sailing channels, everyone's drinking their face off and having a great time. And it's okay to do that every once in a while, but you have to be careful. You know, I've got a policy, well, what the hell, well, my whole life's out here on the internet. Might as well just be honest with you guys. I mean, Jesus, I'll tell you, you gotta be careful with drinking on a boat. For one, you need to have full control of the sailboat at all times. If you're at anchor, I don't care. Anything can go wrong at any moment, so you gotta be careful, all right? For two, never, ever post on social media after you've had a few drinks. I guess I'm a YouTuber, I guess now. Yeah, you just, so tempted to just make posts and stuff. Don't do it, ever. I learned that lesson. So, yeah. Anyway, I intend on, you just gotta take it easy, all right? There's a time when you meet friends and you're all having drinks, it's good times, but when you're out there on your own, drinking every night, can't do it, man. I've been limiting myself to 2 beers a night if I have to drink every day, which I don't. So, there's one of these Garcia one. What is that? Looks to me like a grocery store. Could be wrong about that. We are good. Alternator's fixed. And there's my Uber there. All right, let's get back to the boat. All right, so that was a really great outcome. All right, so with the Ubers, it came to $70. So that's pretty good. The guy suggested I use a field of number 4 on the Balmar alternator controller, and I'm gonna do that. And so that there's not much strain on the alternator. That's what's happening here. He told me that the brushes were failed, so that's what happened. The brush failed, and that's why the alternator wasn't working. So there's new brushes in there, so I'm assuming that I should be okay. So let's get back to the dinghy, back to the boat, get this alternator installed, and I'm gonna note some part numbers and try and get a belt, a spare belt, which I do have, but it's slightly too big. You know, it would work if I'd have to modify the engine cowling to fit the belt on, which is just ridiculous. So yeah, that's where we're at. Let's get back to the boat. Well, the boat's here. That's a good thing. Got some ice. After many hours of work, the engine is fixed. Alternator is good and working. I got the new chain on here. This one's stainless, so it's like got a coating on it, and we're good. That's it. Engine's working good. All right, so I can now concentrate on something else. So windlass working, alternator working and charging, which is very important if you're low on batteries and you need to bring up the anchor in an emergency. So I also fixed the leak here that was leaking, so I think we're good this wise. Anyway, the deck is just covered in dirt. The windows need to be cleaned. Now I just got to clean up the tools and all the rest of it. I got to go fill with diesel. We're really low on diesel. So I'm going to relax for a bit, and you can only get a few things done a day. That's definitely the situation on boats. But yeah, I got the dinghy fixed. Look, that thing's full of air. Look at that. So we're making progress. I'm starting to feel more confident. All right, so I'm very happy today. I've settled in quite nicely to my my home, my boat. And okay, so there's so much to be done. The boat is still a disaster. The exterior of the boat needs attention, and I need to fix this fridge. I bought this gear here. Check this out. This is a set of gauges and some hoses. So I can recharge the Freon, the R134A, back into the system. I've got some metal glue, and I'm gonna patch up the punctures in the fridge hole there very carefully, seal them up, and then I'm going to evacuate the system, and then I'm gonna put Freon back into it. That's the plan. I'm gonna get that started pretty much today or tomorrow. I love being on the boat, you know, watching my videos, playing my guitar, screwing around with stuff. The engine is good. It's done. The engine's fine. It's got the alternators working. Everything's cleaned up. I do need to do an oil change on the engine itself and the transmission. I will do that later. I have the oil here. There's so much to be done. All right, major progress happening. I got oil changed. That oil was absolutely black. Look at that. That would desperately needed an oil change. So very glad that we got fresh new synthetic oil in here, the correct type. Yeah, and then I'm gonna do the transmission after. Good morning. Tell you, I know this is just like a little bit of give you guys an idea of what I'm really sort of going through here. I just uploaded the first video, and I feel like, I don't know, you know, I'm nervous, you know. It's just like I hate the idea of. I like the idea of telling the truth. I like the idea of giving people an opportunity to see what they're getting into if they were to buy an old sailboat, which is something I've done for the last almost 6 years now. You know, I've had this boat, so it makes me nervous to think that, for one, you know, my life's out there on the internet. You know, it just makes me nervous. For two, I'm really concerned about budget for this year. Like, I just went through, I'm trying to track everything, and I've gone through a huge amount of money just to get here, and it doesn't leave me much. So I'm already thinking, Jesus, what? Because you gotta remember, the boat has to go back onto the hard, and I have to be able to return to Canada. That's a good portion of the budget there too. It's not like last year, like I didn't work in film. There was a film strike, right? So these are the things that I'm going through. But then in the back of my mind, I'm like, you know, this is just the way it is. You've kind of made your bed, and you have to sleep in it now. I just told however many people on the internet that I'm sailing to the Bahamas. I mean, was it a smart thing to do? Probably not. Will I make it to the Bahamas? I don't know. I mean, part of me thinks, geez, I should just head for it and just get there, because it's not, once you've got the boat and everything's there and you can just cross and be in the Bahamas, it's not that expensive. It's getting to that point, the flights, the provisions, the diesel, the fixing the boat. Once you're right at the tip, you know, where you're crossing, it's most of that stuff's been taken care of, you know. But I still have the fridge to fix. The Genoa, that's going to be expensive, so I'm really concerned. You know, have I made a mistake? Am I an idiot? You know, this is what's going through my mind. This is a truth vlog, so I'm telling you exactly what's going on. There's been another development as well, and it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing. A really close friend of mine who I work with is a gaffer. His name's Devin, and while I was working up in North Bay a few years ago, he went and bought his own sailboat. We would hang out, sail around in North Bay there on Lake Nipissing on his boat. And his boat's an old sailboat too. He knows. So anyway, he called me and he's like, dude, I bought a ticket. I want to come help you, you know? and I'm so thankful that he's going to come and help me. He's like, dude, I want to help you, you know, let me come down. So now we got new problems. For one, I got to have another person on the boat here. There's not much space because there's equipment to fix the boat. So it's just like a total, I feel stressed out. This is supposed to be my vacation. Jeez, I spent 10 hours editing a video. I know I sound like a whiner right now, so just leave the comment. Yeah, I get it. But I feel good. I mean, I'm happy that I'm here. It's just taken so much effort and so much money to get to where I am now, to be able to make these videos for you guys. So I'm just questioning what I've done. So what's going on out here? There's a boat going by. We gotta get out of this anchorage. Look at this guy. You're not supposed to be doing... This is like, for one, it's a manatee area. I don't know. So these boats too, they make less wake when they go at that speed, believe it or not. But let's see the waves this guy creates. He doesn't care, right? It's just like, oh, sailors, screw him. Finally he slows down there. He's gonna get to his slip like 30 seconds early. Anyway, I noticed the boat's leaning to the left a little bit. It always did that, but not as pronounced as it's doing it now. So, lots of new boats in the harbor here. So I need to figure out, I did oil changes yesterday and changed the oil filters on the engine, which is so critical. Without the engine, we are absolutely screwed. So, what to do, you know. I got to, because I've been tooling every day, I haven't really been cleaning up too much in terms of this. It's just the reality of living on a sailboat. You just, you know. Anyway, I'm gonna hop in the water here and have like a boat shower in a bit. So this fridge thing's really killing me. The ice is already melted in there, so I have to, I think we're gonna go into the marina right now and get ice and just top up the water. It's something I can do really quickly and easily. I know it's Sunday, so it's probably gonna be really busy there. Anyway, I'm gonna creep in. It's slack tide right now, I believe. So I'm not sure. I feel really apprehensive. I feel scared. I feel questioning what I've done. Jesus, man. Anyway, this is what I'm going through. So just let y'all know, you know, what's happening. Man, I you know, what would help if you guys, I hate to sound like this, but you know, if you guys can afford to pay $3 on Patreon, that might help a bit. I don't know. Jesus, anyway, yeah, the link's in the description below. I would appreciate the help. You know, to bring you guys these videos, it's taken everything. Believe me, I'm not making a penny off that. I'm just trying to cover some of the expenses. There's the $50 a month for the Adobe Premiere, you know, all this camera equipment, which I use for my job anyway. Most of it's for vlogging. The cards, the hard drives, all the geez, I just paid $200 to Epidemic Sound for music rights. You know, it's just like this project is in the negative by thousands of dollars. So if you do appreciate the videos and you want to help, I would appreciate it. Thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. Really appreciate it. Now I'm going to reward you guys with some very what I think is crucial information. So the captain of MV Lazy Susan commented, OMG, put an anchor line in your dinghy. Never get aboard any vessel that doesn't have a usable anchor, and enough line. Always cover your gas/fuel containers from exposure to the sun and rain. When you buy gas, put it in a separate 6-gallon gas carrying jug. Add to the full 6 gallons 1 ounce of acetone and 1 ounce of Marvel's Mystery Oil and a ½ ounce of 2-stroke engine oil, even if it's a 4-stroke engine. You top off the dinghy tank with the carrying jug only. You will love the way your engine runs forever without needing repairs. When the sun expands the gas in your tank, that is what blows out fuel pumps. Also, put an inline fuel filter. It's an absolute must. Never repair an engine while mounted on a floating dinghy to avoid losing parts and tools overboard. Keep aboard a quart of contact cement and several chip brushes and extra sailcloth. This will patch both sails and the inflatable dinghy. It is contact cement that holds your dinghy air bladders to the fiberglass bottom. But buy a tank sprayer. Put in it 80% water, 20% bleach, and just before use, add a few drops of Ajax dishwashing liquid. Without breathing the fumes, section by section, spray every inch of the boat inside and out. This will destroy the mold spores as well as the mold, so it doesn't come back so fast. Establish a seawater washdown coiled garden hose that reaches the cockpit. Buy restaurant bus trays. Wash and save plastic bottles. Buy dry lentils and pre-boiled rice or parboiled rice in bulk quantity and transfer and store in these saved plastic bottles. And then he commented, I've lived aboard a boat for 35 years now. I have a Morgan Out Island 33 with 800 watts of solar on a hard plastic bimini. I have LiPo 4 batteries and electric auxiliary propulsion. I also have a generator and strong charger. Offshore of the Florida Keys. Have a nice day. And then he put an embarrassment emoji. So this is why I love bringing you guys these videos. This is really good information. I'm actually gonna do what this guy said. And while you're out here, you always meet people and they give you tips. So I thought I'd pass that on to you. So thank you for sticking to the end of the video. That's it for this week's episode. Next week, a friend of mine, Devin, joins as crew, and we head to Peck Lake. We finally go explore a national park and we go in the ocean. It's a pretty cool video. I think you guys will like it. So that's it for this week's episode. Thanks for watching. Captain Michael, signing out.